We are officially doing a deep dive into Sleep Token. After listening to Gethsemane and being blown away, I feel like I have no choice but to check everything else out. A lot of you guys who are supporting this journey have told me that I should start from the beginning. So today I'm going to check out Thread the Needle off of their first EP, 1. I'm excited to see what this is about to bring, but as always, no expectations.
Bury me inside this labyrinth bed. We can feel that time is dilated. We can spend the night in fascination. You can thread the needle time and time again. You turn the lights down. Come on, and find out. You turn the lights down. Come on, and find out. Something to confide in, something to erase.
Wow.
Just look where we're lying, invisible space. We can spend the night in
Oh, that harmony's coming in.
fascination. You can thread the needle
This voice.
time and time again.
Woo! Oh my god. It's so like dark and mysterious.
You turn the lights down. Come on, and find out.
Oh my god, his voice.
You turn the lights down. Come on, and find out.
Nah. They're so instrumental. Wow. Wow. Um yeah, I mean, basically what I'm getting out of this now, just like we've mentioned in the comments, that many of you have mentioned back to me, they're pretty much very open to interpretation. Whatever you can pick up out of it is what really matters. Just like any song, all music, in my opinion, you're going to have your own interpretations of it based off of, your own experiences, where you are currently in your life, and what's going on in your life at the moment you are listening to that track. Like, you can listen to the same song in 2 years and it's going to speak to you a completely different way than the first time you listen to it, because your life is different, and what's going on inside of you is different, so the way you're interpreting things is different at this point. So for me, I mean, what I'm grasping from this, and it's very deep, very poetic in a way. I want to say it's like talking to, a significant other, a girl, somebody that, you're trying to let learn about you, somebody that you're trying to let into who you are as a person, you're trying to connect with, and you're basically telling them, to come in and, explore your mind. And like, he's saying, I have the lyrics pulled up actually, because I wasn't sure if there was going to be lyrics on this. But bury me inside this labyrinth bed. We can feel that time is dilated. We can spend the night in fascination. You can thread the needle time and time again. So it's almost like he's saying, maybe at night specifically even, is when he really goes inside of his mind and, explores the depths of his mind and everything that, he deals with and is going on within him. But, bury him inside of it. The labyrinth bed is referring to the place where he, spends his time, meditating or diving into all those parts of himself that probably throughout the rest of that day, he kind of brushes off and, ignores or whatever, just to get through the motions. But at night, whatever, he sits there and he actually dives into everything that's going on inside of him. We can feel the time is dilated. At those moments when you're exploring that part of yourself, meditating and everything like that, time doesn't work the same way. So basically, time has dilated. It's expanded. He's in a completely different moment, a completely different realm practically, when he's meditating and exploring those parts of himself and diving deep into the roots of who he actually is and the complexity of his brain and the way things work. We can spend the night in fascination. You can thread the needle time and time again. Referring back to that person that he's trying to let into who he is, or whoever it may be that he's speaking to when he's mentioning all these things. But basically he's saying that, we can be fascinated by, these parts of ourselves that, we don't normally pay attention to, the parts of ourselves that we discover as we do this deep dive and, maneuver around all these different parts of ourselves that we normally don't look into. You can thread the needle time and time again. So you can take the time, and every time that you do, spending trying to dive in and discover and understand these parts of me, you'll continuously find more and more and different routes. Just like in a labyrinth, there's going to be multiple different routes you can explore. You can get through to get to that center, the center of himself. So like, whoa, you turn the lights down, come on and find out. You turn the lights down, come on and find out. He's inviting it in, turn the lights down. Let's explore, let's get into these parts of me. Something to confide in, something to erase. Just look at where we're lying, in invisible space. And then it just, repeats the same things. We can spend the night in fascination. You turn the lights down, come on and find out. So that's what I'm grasping from this is inviting, whoever it may be. Maybe it's deeper than just an actual person. Maybe he's talking to himself even. Maybe it's his brain talking to him. I'm not sure on that aspect, but for me, I'm seeing it from a personal standpoint as taking that time for yourself, to actually learn these parts of yourself, to sit in everything, and to meditate on the inner you and who you really are, and inviting somebody that you care about, that you want to know the real you, inviting them in to be a part of that and to explore those parts of you along with you. Another interpretation that I can kind of have for it, is the songs about drugs, and how when you take these drugs, is when you actually feel like you're exploring these parts of yourself. You're losing all those parts of yourself that you don't like, and things like that, or parts of yourself that everybody can see, and you're actually feeling all these other parts of yourself that are within you. Especially, there was a line when he says, just look at where we're lying in invisible space. The invisible space can be referencing that because he's on drugs, that it's not an actual place he can be in. Invisible means you can't see it. So for some people, invisible might also mean that it's not real, which could be an interpretation. But for me, I'm going with the first thing I said about, trying to let somebody else in, to explore these parts you that you spend time at night or whatever to sit and focus on, and that you've discovered about yourself, and now wanting to share that with this other person because you obviously have this connection to them and you want them to know all of you, and you're opening yourself up to them. Other than that, instrumentation wise, musically, however you want to say it, absolutely beautiful. Once again, the space they leave for instrumentals to actually let you feel everything that's being said, every emotion that you can just sit and soak in, is genius. It's brilliant. It goes so beautifully with everything they talk about, with their style. His voice, oh my god, his voice. The beginning of the song, he's using pretty much a falsetto, right? It's just giving you that higher tone and everything like that. It is such a strong falsetto that I was literally sitting here going, is that his actual voice? Like, is that his full voice, or is he using a falsetto? Like, I couldn't tell for a minute. Like, is that his chest voice or his head voice? Like, because the tone of it and everything, it was just so rich, for a high tone like that and everything. And he's not projecting it. It's just the way it comes out. I can't even explain it. I'm sure you guys understand what I mean, though. But then, of course, as the song goes on, he starts to, as it progresses, the music kicks up more once again. It starts to get a little more intense, and as that happens, so does his voice. His voice gets more intense because he's becoming more passionate about everything that he's saying, and it's kind of just complementing the words of the song as well. As everything is starting to go, it's just progressing. He's getting more passionate about it. He's getting more serious about it, more into it. For me, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It is art. It's so good. I am absolutely in love with these last two songs, and there's so much for me to have to sit and really listen to, and I'm so happy because I've been needing music like this to really sit and just get lost back inside my mind, start thinking about certain things again, and just feel that connectivity that I've felt years ago with other bands and other music. But yeah, this is awesome. I'm so happy I'm doing this journey. I appreciate all you guys who are encouraging this, supporting my journey in this. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this song. How do you feel about it? It's their first song off their first EP. Where does this lie in their discography for you? And we'll talk about it in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe if you want more of this, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.